All right, so you wanted the tea on Lyfe Jennings' Tiny Desk concerts, this whole famous enough
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Buckle up, because we're going deep on this one. We've got two sources, one from like the entertainment news world, the other more like inside the music industry.
What's really interesting to me is how this, which seems like, a small thing, actually says a lot about how we think about fame now, in the age of the internet. Like, what even is fame these days?
It's true, right? And it all blew up with this Instagram post from Lyfe Jennings.
Hmm.
I'm going to quote it here because, well, how he says it is important. Last month at Tiny Desk told me I wasn't a big enough celeb to perform on their show.
Hmm.
So thank you to Unplugged for still believing in me. Now, quick reminder for anyone who hasn't blasted Must Be Nice on repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
Lyfe Jennings, he's a big deal in R&B, right?
Oh, yeah.
Platinum album, his debut album, Life 268-192, went platinum back in 2004. Hit singles, SEX, even hit #2 on the Billboard 200.
Wow.
So when he says, not famous enough,
Mm.
something feels off.
It does make you wonder about Tiny Desk's process, right? Like, they're supposed to be about the music, showcasing talent, raw and real.
Yeah.
So is it really just about who's the biggest name? Jennings' post, whether he meant to or not, it kind of forces us to ask that.
And get this, NPR, which, they usually stay pretty quiet on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They actually responded this time.
No way.
They gave a statement to Brown Girl Grinding, it's a music platform, and they stressed that Tiny Desk is about music discovery and inclusion, not just like booking the biggest stars.
Which makes sense on the surface, right? I mean, Tiny Desk, they've built this whole reputation, right? It's the place for diverse artists, up-and-comers, even established people trying something new.
Exactly.
We're practically synonymous with introducing you to artists you never even knew you needed.
Right. And their statement even said they get hundreds of pitches. Sometimes it's just bad timing.
Sure, sure.
And you knew there was a but coming.
Uh-oh.
A source told Brown Girl Grinding that NPR never told Jennings he wasn't big enough.
Oh, really?
Like maybe he, stretched the truth a little for Instagram. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It's kind of like they were stuck between a rock and hard place.
Totally. Trying to, do damage control, but also kind of hinting, hey, maybe don't believe everything you read on Instagram,
Right, right.
But here's the real question, right? What does this whole thing tell us about how Tiny Desk actually chooses their artists? Because they've got this whole reputation, right? Championing new talent. But then stuff like this happens, and you got to wonder,
Yeah, it makes you think.
is it really that simple?
It's a balancing act, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
they obviously have their standards, right? How good is the music, performance style? Does it even work in that Tiny Desk setting? But then there's also the whole, what's hot right now?
Bro.
What are people talking about?
Exactly. And does Lyfe Jennings fit into that? I mean, look, I'm not saying he's not talented, but is his sound, like the one starting conversations, ending up on everyone's playlist right now? I don't know.
It's a good question. And it gets to this bigger thing about artists today and how they define success. Is it charts, social media, critics, or some mix of all of that, It's tough.
It's like fame itself is so different now. Back in the day, it was simple, right? Billboard, or you weren't in anybody. But now, you could have a huge following online, but be totally invisible to most people.
Exactly. And for artists who've been around, seen how things change, it's got to be hard to figure out where they fit in. I mean, a platinum album used to mean something, right? Like you made it.
Now you can have a platinum album and still get told you're not celeb enough. It's wild.
It really makes you think twice about what it means to, actually make it in music now. This whole Tiny Desk thing, it's not even really about Lyfe Jennings, right? It's about what it shows us about, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff in the industry.
It's true, right? Like one Instagram post, and
Yeah.
suddenly we're all asking these huge questions about how we, like, as a culture, decide who's important, in this digital age. Is it how good their work is or their followers or, I don't know,
Yeah.
some weird combo.
That's the thing, isn't it? It makes you wonder, are we, like, the fans, are we supporting the artists who deserve it? The ones who actually, like, move us with their music?
That's such a good point. It makes me want to ask, like, what about you listening? Did this whole thing make you want to check out Lyfe Jennings, see what he's about? Or maybe it made you think, maybe Tiny Desk does have a type and he's just not it.
Those are such good questions. And honestly, I don't think there's a right answer. Music is so personal, right? It's all about what you think is good. What I find interesting about this whole thing is it makes us think not just about Tiny Desk, but about, what we're listening to, why we listen to it.
Totally. It's so easy to just, go with what everyone else is talking about.
Yeah.
But this reminds us to take a step back and be like, hold on. What do I actually like? What do I value? It's a lot to think about. And who knew it all start with one Instagram post, right?
It shows you sometimes the most interesting conversations come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. So, to everyone listening, what do you think about all this? Did this change how you see NPR, Tiny Desk, even Lyfe Jennings himself? Find us on social media. Let's keep talking about it. Until next time, happy listening.